Hi everyone, it's Miss Porter with the Virginia Tech String Project, and welcome to our second to last week of string ensemble videos. I don't know if you're sad, but I'm a little sad. So in honor of the end of String Project this semester, instead of having an in-person concert, on Wednesday, we are going to be having a Zoom party where we can all say hi to each other, talk about summer plans, and get to spend a little time together before the summer break. So I want to make sure you guys are all doing okay in quarantine. I hope you and your families are doing great, getting through schoolwork easily, spending lots of time outside, and you're almost done with school. So just a couple weeks left. So hang in there, you're almost done. But yeah, I hope to see you Wednesday at our Zoom meeting. Have your parents check their email for the Zoom link. Bring your favorite snacks so that we can feel like we're sharing a party together, but of course from a healthy distance. So this week we're going to work on a couple different things. The first thing we're going to work on is a different kind of scale, a fun one, don't worry. We're just going to change it up a little bit, and it's in your book, so it'll just be an extra little way to practice some fundamentals. We're also going to finish the big things in your book, so all we have left is a couple things to learn, and then there are some other pieces at the end of your book, but after this week, we're kind of done with your book, which is a perfect reason to celebrate this week. And then finally, we're going to talk some more about some jazz stuff. So get ready for those videos. All right, the first thing I want you to do to warm up is I want you to go ahead and get some stretches in, maybe go outside, walk around a little bit just to get your muscles nice and warmed up. Massage your hands and your fingers if you would like. Just get warmed up somehow. So maybe pause the video here, get all that warm up done, and then meet me back for some scales. Okay, so today we're going to work on all of the scales that we know, but we're going to put them in the same pattern. So if you would turn to page 42 and look in the big yellow box at the bottom that says scales and arpeggios. Now I believe we've talked about arpeggios before, and arpeggios are just a chord. So a chord is playing multiple notes at one time. And it's a standard chord for each of our scales, but it's broken up, and you play each note once. There's some more music theory behind that, but we'll talk about that more next semester in the fall. Okay, so if you look, you'll see all of the scales that you know so far. You've got D major, G major. Violins, you get the second octave of G major, and then C major, cellos and violas, you get the second octave of C major as well. So if you want to take some time to go ahead and prepare what fingers you need to use for each scale, make sure you take note of which sharps you need to play and which naturals you need to play for each of those. Maybe play through each of them once, and then meet me back here so that we can play this new pattern for our scales. Okay, so this pattern, I don't know if you notice anything about it particularly, but we've got quarter notes and eighth notes. And so you really just have to pay attention, make sure you're counting correctly in your head. But I have a secret. If you look at number 183, which is our D major scale, you will see that all of the quarter notes that happen on our Ds. So either our open D or our high D. And that's the only time you have quarter notes. Everything else is an eighth note. Now, at the very end, you've got a quarter note rest and then a little apostrophe above it. Now, I hope you all remember that we have to do a bow lift, and that's what that means. Because we repeat it, there's also a repeat sign at the end, we repeat it and it starts down bow, and so it also ends down bow, and that's why we have to do the bow lift. So I'm gonna go ahead and play this for you. Go ahead and play along with me, and then hopefully you'll start to learn the pattern. I will play my D major scale, my G major scale one and the C major scale. But I will just do number 183, 184, and 186. But if you want to practice that second octave, if you have that second octave written in your book, just rewind it and play the scale along with me again, but you'll just be in a different spot. Okay, let's start with D major. 1, 2, ready, and go. Okay, that was D major. One other thing that I feel like I should mention is if you need to practice that arpeggio, go through, say your finger numbers, say your note names, shadow bow it, whatever works best for you. I want you to go ahead and take apart those last 4 measures and take some time to practice that if you need to, if your fingers kind of get twisted up when we're playing it. Okay, now number 184. 1, 2, ready, here we go. And notice it's the exact same pattern as the D major scale, except this time we're playing all of our G's, our open G and our higher G. All of our G's are where we have quarter notes. And that will be the same for our C major scale. Okay, number 186. 1, 2, ready, here we go. Excellent. Now remember, in C major and in some of our G major, we have to use low 2s or 2s instead of 3s. So make sure that you pay attention to all of that and review it if you have to. Rewind and play with me again as much as you need to. But how exciting! We can play 3 scales in many different ways, and this is just an extra way for you to put in your toolbox of ways that you can practice your scales. So think about your bow different ways, come up with new patterns similar to this. If you want to be creative, have fun with your scales. They seem really boring, but they're a great way to build skills. Just like this little yellow box says, skill builders. Huh, imagine that. So enjoy your scales this summer. I know that they're going to be hard to practice, especially when you don't want to, but they'll be really good for you and you'll get so much better in a very short amount of time if you practice your scales.